First of all, thank y'all so much for being here. This is the very first Let's Talk About It. My name is Isaiah, ThoughtPoet Benet. I'm the creative director for Unsocial Aesthetics. Appreciate it. And so, yeah, just giving y'all a little insight on what this series is about. It's a series that's based on performance and dialogue, and we're trying to learn more about the artists in the Chicago music scene while also allowing them to do their thing musically and sound-wise. So we're going to have our conversation, but first, I want to introduce Demetruest. If you're not familiar with his work, you're about to get more in tune with it today. I'm super excited about this person just because I've known about him, Lord have mercy, for a very long time. And he's always had that energy of, yeah, I'm gonna come, shut it down, and I'm, go on by my way. You know what I'm saying? And so this has been him ever since I've known of his career. So yeah, if y'all can clap it up for Demetruest, y'all. Word. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well.
Cool. So, yeah, we're gonna get into, 3 questions.
Okay.
But first of all, thank you so much for wanting to be a part of this. Again, this series is very important just because we want Chicago to know more about the artists that are really pioneering this new wave. So again, thank you so much for being here. And, yeah, welcome.
Happy to be here. Love the space. Yeah, Records is a vibe from the front to the back.
You know what I'm saying?
Make sure you walk around if you ever walk around.
Cool. So we're gonna get into the first question, and I think I want to center it on. I want to let people know where you come from, right? Because when we had our conversations, we talked a lot about your media. We talked a lot about Brother Mike. We talked about the origins with like you and No Name and Jamila Woods, and I feel like people know of that history about you, but I feel like people don't. And so that's why people be like, oh my God, who is he? Because he's so amazing, but he's so mysterious. So give us a little insight on your origins as far as like After School Matters program, just everything that you believe puts you in this position you're in right now.
Wow. Okay. So, well, I've been singing like my whole life. My dad used to like film little home videos with his camera. And he caught me singing one time, and he was just like, son, you have the most like pure sounding voice. You need to hold on to that. You need to sing, but you also need to have a backup plan, So he made me like I already knew earlier on that this is what I wanted to do, but obviously, paying the bills, that kind of thing. Anyway, I'm lucky and blessed to have had parents that like really cultivated my creativity and like allowed me to just be myself. And funny thing, when I think I was 12 or 13, actually 12, my grandmother gave me a pamphlet, and it was an After School Matters pamphlet. And she was like, hey, I heard about this program that's happening in the city of Chicago. She's like, you need to apply, you need to do this, you can make money and you can sing. I was like, okay, Grandma, this is like, you really did your big one on this, So I was very excited. I went and auditioned, and I feel like I then started to have like my first touches with like professional performance experience. Like I got into the vocal arts ensemble there, did that for a few years. Around the same time, like simultaneously, I was also going to the Choir Academy of Chicago. So a few alums in the room. So, I was at the Choir Academy, I was learning for half the day and then singing for the rest. So, they really cultivated that discipline within us and our repertoire and, just that professionalism, like some of the best moments of my life. And so I was able to extend that in the summer times, for After School Matters. So yeah, I was trying to think, wow, it's so much trying to condense it into a thing or a small thing. But I think the program was pretty much like 6 hours a day in the summer. But afterwards, we would just kind of be looking at each other like, what are we going to do now? Like, we don't want to go home. It's 3 o'clock. Like, we had like 5 hours to burn. And then new media was a thing. Oh, let's go to Harold Washington Library. Let's watch some open mic performances. Let's even get up there and sing a few, I would almost always get up there and sing a Music Soul Child song. Like that was my thing. That's really where I live, and it was pretty cool. So at the time, Fatima, No Name, and Demetruest were like the hosts of this open mic series thing, and so yeah, I got to meet a lot of people at that time who were really passionate about creativity, and whether it was rapping or singing or visual arts, and it's just so wild that those people in that room became some of like the most influential artists from Chicago today. So yeah, I'm super honored to have come from the city to have lived here, and to continue to pour into the city, like with my own artistry, with my own plans for community centered programming. Yeah, did I answer the question?
No, that was perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
And again, because I think a lot of people are not familiar with the legend of media and Brother Mike, rest in power, and just how impactful that community was and has been for the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So again, you being who you are, and again, you representing the neo-soul R&B scene in Chicago, like that's very important. So that leads me to my second question. Because I'll be honest with you, I did not know who Eddie Burns was until I looked at what you were doing. I was like, oh, this buddy from Coachella. He was on stage with Frank Ocean and blah, blah, blah. So tell us a little bit about like how that relationship kind of like came into fruition.
So I met Eddie in LA on the first No Name tour when she did the Telephone project. We were in LA, I don't even remember it, maybe it was like Orpheum or something. I could be like messing that up. But anyway, so we're in the green room and I just see these twins. They kind of look alike, but I don't know which one I'm looking at. And I think actually the first time we met, I really was looking for a lighter because I needed to smoke a joint. And Eddie was there to help me out. Met his manager Noah at that same point, but it was like that show was so special. Saba was there, Smino was there. I remember we did like medleys with them on stage, so we got to perform with them. Quinta Brunson was randomly there. Ombre was there. It was just, it's just wild, like thinking about it. But it was, that was probably one of my most favorite performances. Akenya was the MD, the music director for that tour, so she was there as well. Eddie and his brother Isaac gave me an invite to come to their house in Chicago. It was like, hey, we make music at home. Whenever you're done, just come fuck with us. So I did when I got off tour, and I met so many other artists that were like just working on their sound, trying to figure out who they were. From him, I was able to meet like Luna Day and Kaina and Manesi and oh my God, it's a lot of people. I think the drama duo.
Oh wow!
They were coming,
yeah.
Like they were coming to the house too, like laying stuff down, and like you just never knew who you were gonna run into there. But I think what was really important to me then, and is still important to me now, is like soul connections with people. I love collaborating, but what I love more than that is like being able to know like what your favorite color is, or like when your birthday is. Or like, you know, the types of music that you like to listen to. I want to know like the things that make you a human being first, because I think we'll always have time for music, you know? So I feel like that's kind of how me and Eddie started becoming friends. We started cultivating that friendship. Within our friendship, I even moved to Seattle and started working in the cannabis industry. I've had a lot of experiences there. But he always was a person that was like, yo, whenever you come back or whenever you want to make music, like, I'm here. Trying to connect this to...
You're doing great.
Okay. Okay. All right. I appreciate that. A little affirmation. So like this is 2022. I was working, this is my 5th year working in the cannabis industry, and they were doing some layoffs. So I was a part of that layoff that happened. And I was like, okay, you know what? I had, taken on the chin a little bit. I ended up writing a song about it called Failure, which I want to perform today. But I decided to go to LA. I decided to just pack up my suitcase and just go. And I actually was planning on staying. Like I wasn't gonna return. Like just to be like, fuck it, let's just invest 100%. Let's go. So I was there and I get a call from Eddie. Eddie is like, hey, we made this song Foreplay and it's amazing and I want to make more vibes like it. You know, it's very 70s, it's very vintage, it's very soulful. And he's like, I think if we lock in for a few weeks, we could get it. It's like, I'm not ready for you to move to LA. Plus, I have a creative director named Ariella Granados that I want you to meet. There's a photographer, Daniel, that I want you to meet. Like, and this is at this point, you know, I'm thinking about how much I love the music that I create and how much I have yet to dive into my visual world as much. Like I have not been able to, at this point, I have not been able to do that like to the level that I would like. So bringing in other help, bringing in other collaborators, this is like the first time, you know, that I had to be like, okay, I can really take this up a notch, you know? So I listened, I said, okay, I'm gonna come back. I came back and everything has just been like a snowball effect after that. Like every song for this project came so easily. One of my best friends, Ashley, over here, Paloma, she moved back from New York and we were living together and I'm like, hey, look, the work day is done, or maybe the work day is halfway done, but we need to go to the studio and lay some things down. I didn't know what we were gonna make, but we knew that like being together, we were gonna make it happen. Mm-hmm. Us two and Eddie. That's all we needed to make this. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just happy that I was able to trust in the overall vision for what I want to give as an artist. You know, what I deserve to give as an artist. You know. Yeah.
It's amazing, bro. Especially the fact that you decided to not move to LA, because that's a real big thing with Chicago as far as get on and then you leave. Mm-hmm. And it's no shade. It's no shade to any artist that's ever done that, but it's always really created this energy where when we think about who's, I guess, like the leading artists or the leading innovators, like they're normally not here anymore. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you, in a lot of ways, God was like, you know, sit your ass here. We're gonna work it out. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's just amazing that happened like that. And so that leads me to my final question with this new project you're about to put out. You've let me listen to some records. I'm super excited for our audience to hear it. But what can you tell us about this project? And can you tell us when it's dropping? Or can you?
So what I can tell you is that one single is going to drop on March 29th. It's called And I Hope That You Know. And then the full project is going to be out in July. And you can expect before the whole thing comes out, there'll be snippets and, you know, a rollout, I guess, leading up to that I'm very, very excited about. I have spent my life savings on this project. Making music videos for this. I have like 3 music videos that go along with it. The name of the project is called They All Kept Moving While I Stood Still. And it's all about honoring the need to slow down, especially like in a fast moving pace, you know, like Chicago or any big city for that matter, where it feels like you have to, you know, really be hustling every day. Like I know if there's anything I know how to do is hustle. I don't have to worry about, you know, I may be down for a little bit, but I'll be back. So, you know, like, but what would it look like if I didn't have to like be in that state? Like if I didn't have to be in that state, could I grow more? And I've been able to really do that, like that hard work on myself, you know, going to therapy, like really not being afraid of my vulnerability and leaning into that and like just I don't know, just I don't have a better word other than like just kind of doing the work that I need to do. So
sometimes that's necessary, man. Sometimes that's enough to even say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So this project, I'm really excited about it. I've never done anything like it. I feel like in this city is very, especially like maybe like 2014, 2015 is when I really decided like I want to do this, like as a soloist. And I was working with my brother Teddy Jackson, making a lot of like fire records and things like that. But one thing is that, and I love rap, but I felt like every person I worked with would just send me rap beats, right? Which I was like, hey, I'm just honored that I'm getting a beat at all, so I'm just gonna try to do what I can. But I ended up turning into also kind of like a rapper as well, like because of that. But it was definitely unintentional. Well, I would say this is one of the first records that I feel like I'm actually singing. Like I get to just live in that. It's one thing that I wake up singing. I'm sure I go to bed singing too. I don't know, but probably singing in my sleep. But I mean, I just love the art of performance and music and discovering new artists and rediscovering our past artists as well and paying respects to them as well. So I feel like this project is like the perfect medium between past and present, and like giving you a little like a new way to envision these types of or this type of genre, basically. Yeah.
Man, thank you so much for being not only our first interview for this series, but giving us a real interview. Like I feel like I learned a lot. I feel like everyone in this room has learned a lot. I am super excited for this album. Once again, thank you Miyagi Record Shop. Thank you Unsocial Aesthetics. And so now we about to get into the music part of this.
Yes.
So I'm excited for everyone to be a part of that. So just give us like a moment or two to get everything set up. And we're gonna go from there, y'all. So please clap it up for Demetruest, y'all. Thank you so much, Miyagi Record Shop. Thank you so much, Demetruest. Once again, this project is coming out in July. Thank you. This project is coming out in July, y'all. Like Demi just said, he's also going to be performing at the Promontory on Tuesday, opening up for Damian Williams. If you're not familiar with bro, he's like a Gil Scott Heron, but he be on some like music shit. It's going to be really dope. But seriously, y'all, thank y'all so much for being the first audience for the first Let's Talk About It. This means a lot because, again, Chicago has a lot of issues with not telling the history of the artists that are really doing so much work to make this sound be what it is. This entire record shop is history, and I love being here. I live right down the street from here. So the fact that, again, this new wave is taking place, being led by legendary folks like Demetruest, that's not no coincidence. That's God. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
And so I just want people to embrace that. I want to, again, send so much love to every single person in here. Y'all got here. Y'all came to support. And, yeah, please just keep supporting y'all. Every time y'all share a person's name, the music they're doing, that shit is important. So please follow this man on Instagram if you have not already. It's Demetruest.
Yep.
On Instagram. Again, the project is dropping in July. And that's all we got, y'all. We gonna, if y'all wanna, just look
I
at
got
the records.
vinyls too.
And he's selling merch. He is selling merch. He's selling vinyl. Please buy a vinyl if you can. And yeah, I think that's everything I got.
Thank you.
Yeah, clap it up, y'all.